Have you ever been the person who gives everything, only to be ignored, forgotten, or worse, replaced by someone else's lies? That's exactly what happened to me. For years, I was the invisible daughter, quietly holding my family together while my sister basked in the spotlight, praised for sacrifices she never made. And I stayed silent until I couldn't anymore. This isn't just a story about money, it's about betrayal, favoritism, and the moment I decided to stop being invisible. You'll see how years of hidden sacrifices exploded into a family confrontation that none of us will ever forget. Stick with me until the end, because what my sister finally confessed shocked everyone. Growing up, the roles in my family were clear. Sarah, my older sister, was the star, the golden child. She had the charisma, the smile, the charm that drew everyone in. Mom adored her, Dad defended her, relatives praised her. And then there was me, Julia, the quiet one, dependable, but never celebrated. I became the fixer, the one who stepped in when things went wrong. Broken faucet? I handled it. Emotional meltdown? I listened. Financial struggles? I silently took on the responsibility. And the cruelest part? Nobody noticed. Or maybe they didn't want to. Sarah's charm meant she didn't have to lift a finger. She was always painted as the one who held the family together. Every compliment, every word of pride from my mom was directed at her. Meanwhile, I faded further into the background, my contributions hidden in shadows. But resentment has a way of growing quietly, like a crack in the foundation. Every time I saw Sarah's smug smile, basking in credit for things I had done, the crack deepened. And eventually, it wasn't just about money. It was about identity, recognition, and dignity. Little did I know, the storm was coming, and it would change everything. For 3 years, I funneled my paychecks into my parents' bills. Insurance, medical treatments, overdue notices, I handled it all. Every month, I skipped luxuries. No dinners out, no vacations. I even cut back on groceries to make sure my parents never went without their medications. And through it all, Sarah wore the crown. She let everyone believe she was footing the bills. She never corrected the story, never once said, "Actually, Julie is helping." Instead, she soaked it in, the praise, the admiration, the pride shining in my mom's eyes. I told myself it didn't matter. I wasn't doing it for the recognition. I was helping because I loved my parents. But deep down, the silence stung. Every thank you, Sarah, felt like a knife. Every smile she flashed on Instagram with cocktails and shopping bags was salt in the wound. I justified it. It's fine. They need help. That's what matters. But there's only so long you can carry a secret before it becomes a burden. And I didn't realize how heavy it had become until the day I simply stopped. That decision set off a chain reaction I could never have predicted. It wasn't dramatic. No big announcement. Just me, sitting in my cramped apartment, staring at my bank account after paying rent. My balance was so low it made my stomach twist. And then something inside me snapped. I thought, why am I sacrificing everything while Sarah pretends to be the hero? So I stopped. No transfers. No payments. No explanations. At first, nothing happened. Weeks passed in silence. I almost believed I'd get away with it. That maybe, just maybe, they'd figure out the truth without me saying a word. But the quiet didn't last. My mom called one afternoon, her voice tight. "Julia, your dad's insurance payment is overdue again. Did something happen to Sarah's account?" My chest clenched. They still believed Sarah was responsible. Still saw her as the provider. And in that moment, I made a choice. Instead of confessing, I simply said, "Maybe you should ask Sarah directly." It was the smallest rebellion, but it lit the fuse. Suddenly, I wasn't just the invisible daughter. I was the hidden variable in a story about to unravel. And when the cracks started showing, there was no turning back. The first late notice came and went. Then another. And another. Mom's calls grew more frantic. Dad mentioned overdue hospital bills with worry etched in his voice. Meanwhile, Sarah stayed silent. Not a word. No explanations. Just her carefully curated Instagram life. Fancy dinners, spa days, rooftop cocktails. The image of perfection, while behind the scenes, the walls were caving in. For the first time I saw it. The doubt. A flicker of suspicion in my mom's voice when she asked, "Why does this keep happening if Sarah's been paying?" It was like a crack in glass, small but impossible to ignore. And I realized if I stayed quiet long enough, maybe the truth would finally force its way out. But silence is a dangerous weapon. It doesn't just protect you, it poisons you. Every call from Mom left me torn between guilt and defiance. I wasn't the one failing them. Sarah was. Yet, somehow, I still felt the weight on my shoulders. And when Mom demanded answers, setting up a family dinner to finally talk things through, I knew the moment of truth had arrived. What I didn't know was just how ugly it would get. The tension was thick enough to choke on. Plates clinked, forks scraped, but no one spoke until my dad leaned forward and looked Sarah in the eye. "You've been handling the bills for months. What's going on? Why can't you keep up?" The color drained from Sarah's face. She stammered excuses about unexpected expenses and hiccups. But for the first time, the mask slipped. Mom immediately jumped to her defense. "She's doing her best, Robert. Why don't you lay off? And Julia," her eyes snapped to me, "maybe it's time you step up and help for once. You don't do anything for us as it is." The words hit me like a slap. My chest ached. My hands shook. I wanted to scream. It's been me all along. But instead, I swallowed, staring at Sarah, who wouldn't even meet my gaze. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. My voice cracked, but I forced the words out. "That's not true, Mom. I've been the one paying. For 3 years. Every bill. Every month." The table went silent. Mom scoffed, shaking her head. "Don't be ridiculous. Sarah's been the one helping us. You've done nothing." And there it was, the moment everything shattered. The second the truth left my lips, Sarah sprang into action. "What is wrong with you, Julia?" she snapped, her voice trembling just enough to sound convincing. "Why are you making up these lies? I've been helping them all along, and now you're trying to steal credit." My jaw dropped. The audacity. She sat there, calm and composed, painting me as the villain. And worst of all, my mom nodded along. "Sarah's right, Julia," she said firmly. "If you've been helping, why keep it a secret? Why wait until now to say something? It doesn't make sense." The gaslighting was unbearable. My truth twisted into lies, my sacrifices erased in real time. I wanted to slam my phone on the table, shove receipts and bank statements in their faces. But I didn't, because this wasn't about proof. This was about Sarah's refusal to admit what she'd done. I looked her dead in the eye. "I waited because I wanted to see if you'd ever admit the truth yourself. But you didn't. You kept lying. You let them believe." Sarah rolled her eyes dramatically. "You're just bitter. That's what this is about." Her words stung, but I refused to back down. For once, I wasn't going to be invisible. The room was a battlefield, and I had a choice: retreat into silence or fight for my truth. I chose to fight. "I have receipts," I said firmly. 3 years of bank statements. I can pull them up right now. Sarah laughed bitterly. "Receipts? Please. You're making this up because you can't stand that they appreciate me." Mom folded her arms, her face filled with doubt. Dad sat quietly, torn between us. My heart pounded, but my voice didn't waver. "I didn't help for recognition. I did it because I love you." But Sarah took my silence and turned it into a lie, and I'm done letting her rewrite history. For the first time, I saw fear flicker across Sarah's face. She knew I wasn't bluffing. But instead of admitting it, she doubled down. "This is insane," she snapped. "Why would I ever lie about that?" The answer hung heavy in the air, because she loved the spotlight more than the truth. I stood then, pushing my chair back. "I'm done," I said, my voice trembling but strong. "If Sarah wants to keep lying, that's on her. But I won't play this game anymore." And with that, I walked away, leaving them all in stunned silence. Weeks passed. Conversations with my parents grew strained, clipped, surface level. Sarah still basked in their sympathy, but I noticed the cracks forming. Her Instagram posts grew less glamorous. No more fancy dinners, no more shopping sprees. Whispers spread. She'd missed car payments, scaled back her lifestyle. Because now, for the first time, she had to actually pay those bills. I should have felt pity. But instead, I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and sadness. Satisfaction because she was finally carrying the weight she claimed for so long. Sadness because this wasn't how I wanted things to be. Then, one Saturday afternoon, she showed up at my door. Her hair messy, her face pale. Gone was the polished golden child. "Can we talk?" she whispered. Against my better judgment, I let her in. "I'm in trouble," she admitted, her voice breaking. "I can't keep up. I don't know what to do." My arms folded. My voice was cold. "That's not my problem anymore, Sarah. You made this bed. Now lie in it." Her eyes filled with tears. She begged. She pleaded. But I stood firm. If she wanted help, she'd have to do the one thing she had always refused to do, tell the truth. The family reunion was buzzing with chatter, but when Sarah stood and tapped her glass, silence fell. She looked pale, gripping her chair for support. "I need to say something," she began, her voice trembling. For years, everyone believed I was the one paying Mom and Dad's bills. But that wasn't true. It was Julia. The room froze. My mom's mouth fell open. My dad's brow furrowed in disbelief. "I lied," Sarah continued, her shoulders slumping. "I let you think it was me. And I'm sorry." Gasps rippled through the room. My mom turned to me, tears filling her eyes. "We didn't believe you. We called you a liar. I'm so sorry, Julia." My dad crossed the room, his voice heavy. "We were wrong about everything. You carried us when we thought you didn't care. We failed you." Their words should have felt vindicating. But instead, I just felt tired. This wasn't about their apologies. It was about reclaiming myself. I nodded quietly, but inside, I knew nothing would erase the years I spent invisible. For the first time, though, I wasn't the one carrying the weight. And that was enough. The next day, Sarah texted me. I told them the truth. "Now can you send me the money we talked about?" I stared at the message, anger and pity twisting in my chest. She hadn't confessed out of guilt. She confessed out of desperation. So I did something she didn't expect. I showed the message to my parents. "See," I said evenly. She only admitted it because she needed something from me, not because it was the right thing to do. Their faces fell, disappointment etched deep. I turned to Sarah, who stood frozen, her facade crumbling. "I'm not giving you a cent. You told the truth years too late. And I won't reward you for doing the bare minimum." Her knees buckled. Tears streamed down her face. She begged, clutched at my arm, sobbed for forgiveness. But I pulled free. For once, I felt no guilt. No burden. Only freedom. "From now on," I said firmly, "your problems are yours. I won't carry them anymore." And with that, I walked away, finally choosing myself. For the first time in years, I wasn't invisible. I was free. Sometimes, the hardest thing isn't being unseen. It's finally deciding to stop letting people use your silence against you. For years, I thought my sacrifices didn't need recognition. But silence can be dangerous. It can erase you, bury you, and let others steal your story. My sister's lies almost destroyed me. My parents' blindness nearly broke me. But standing up for myself, even when no one believed me, gave me back something I didn't know I'd lost, my voice. And maybe that's the lesson here. You don't always get justice wrapped neatly with apologies and tears. Sometimes, the only justice is choosing yourself, walking away, and refusing to carry burdens that were never yours to begin with. If you've ever been the invisible one, the one giving everything while someone else takes the credit, know this. Your worth isn't measured by their recognition. It's measured by your strength to keep going, and your courage to walk away when enough is enough.